Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen! Hello and welcome once again to the Matterhorn Yodelers. I am your host today, Peter, with
Jackie
and
Chiefus.
And today we have more special guests with us. We've been having a lot of guest visitors recently. We'll start with the one that, if you listen to our Star Wars podcast, you might remember
Mark,
who is Jackie's husband. Also joining us is Tess, who is Chiefus' wife. And I also happen to have a wife, and her name is...
Oh my gosh, Casey.
So we decided to have a fun episode where we kind of interview our spouses and get their perspective on how our Disney nerdom has impacted their life, and maybe get an idea of how they perceive us in Disney character form. So let's get things started. Let's go around and let me ask everyone what their level of Disney fandom was at prior.
So, growing up, we weren't huge Disney fans, and so I went when I was 9 years old, and I loved it. I thought it was great, but other than that, I mean, we watched the movies growing up, and they were awesome, but it wasn't a huge deal. It wasn't a huge thing, so I wasn't a super fan.
Mark, what was your level at?
I mean, I was pretty much the same. Just like, I went to Disneyland when I was about 4 years old. Aside from that, I went to like Disney World when I was like a sophomore in high school, junior or sophomore. And that was about the limit of like Disney parks. Of course, I watched like the Disney movies. I remember like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. But that was really pretty much it.
Did you watch TGIF?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course.
But the important question is, since you've been to Disneyland with Jackie, did she let you drive the Autopia car?
She did. Well, we drove different cars.
Oh.
Did we? No, I drove. Yeah. We drove the same car. Yeah, she let me drive. That was a dream come true.
here, folks. I make dreams come true.
Yeah, you are.
All right, Casey. Let's hear a little bit about your fandom pre Peter.
Yes. I would say that my level of Disney fandom, I don't know what you would call it, it's probably been like the same since before and after we've been married, because I've always loved Disney. And I went to the parks a couple of times as a kid. I go now more since being married to you. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. But I just remember like being a kid and like watching all these cartoons as like a teenager, and like I think one time my dad was like, "Hey, like, you know, you better watch out. Like, you shouldn't watch all these cartoons. Like, what is it?" Like he said something along the lines of like, you know, what kind of husband's going to want to marry you if you're just watching cartoons all the time? And I'm like, don't worry about it, Dad. Me.
You got it, exactly. Your dad was nailed it. He nailed that one. He is very wise.
Yeah.
Little did he know. Which is funny, too, because, like, I think your parents didn't even understand my level of fandom, because, like, even your parents would, like, talk to me. It would be like, so... you're not expecting to have your kids become Disney Channel movie stars, are you? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, no, I've always enjoyed Disney, like my whole life. I do want to say when I entered into your guys' family, I it was like a whole other level.
Oh, I
A
could
whole
tell.
new world.
Yeah.
That
a
first
whole
trip
new
to
world.
Disneyland, I was like, oh, Casey has no clue.
Yeah, and it had been a while. Like, I think prior to that, I think it had been like 8, maybe 10 years before I had been to Disneyland. So, yes.
Okay, so where is your level at now? Tess?
I would say a lot more. I've become a huge fan of amusement parks. Love the roller coasters. We all know.
You were scared of them.
Yes.
Like, we went to Disneyland, and you were scared of the roller coaster. I remember the roller coaster was like, well, let's just ride the Matterhorn. That's like a baby coaster. And then you...
I loved it. It was great. I was even scared of the space one because it's in the dark, but I mean, I love it. So I enjoy Disney a lot more now, and I want to take our daughter. So
Oh.
Let's be a show. Your little baby's first trip to Disneyland. Mark?
Well, I would definitely say that my fandom, or however you would say that,
Your level of fandom?
my level of fandom for Disney
Did you
has
power up yet?
it's definitely increased a lot since I married Jackie. We went to Disneyland like right before everything started going into lockdown for Corona, and just like the level of, I just felt like a kid again going through, and Jackie was just enjoying like my reaction to everything.
It was the best thing when you take someone new to Disneyland and just see their emotions and get excited for all the attractions. It just hypes you up.
Oh yeah, and it's just like I hadn't been there since I was just a little kid, but just like going there and just having these memories flood back. Just like going there with my family, you know, it was like a hard time at that time for my family, but just like reliving those memories, just like I felt like a kid again. And we've definitely watched a lot more Disney movies since we've been married.
Disney Plus helps with that.
Oh yeah, Disney Plus for sure.
You also, this is not with my influence, but you have increased your Disney knowledge with YouTube videos.
Oh, I've been like watching so many videos about the history of the parks, about the rides, like totally like Defunctland and Yesterworld, and just like the detailed descriptions and the histories of each individual ride. And
a lot of information.
There's a lot of information, and I like just like having a lot of that random knowledge and everything.
It's fun.
Just to
yeah.
let you know, there is no Betty Ford clinic for Disney addicts, so gradually get into it.
Yeah. And for sure, we've been to the Disney store quite a few times, and yeah, gotten a lot of Disney shirts now, and a lot of like just Disney music on my playlists and everything. So it's definitely been like a huge transformation for me.
And ever since we've been to Disneyland, Mark asks me all the time, when can we go to Disney World? When can we go on a Disney cruise? So I must say my brainwashing worked really well.
Yes, honey. Yes, Disney honey.
Yes, more. Give me more.
Yeah, it's funny because like when we first got married, me and Peter, I think I made a mention. I'm like, I'm okay with going to Disneyland, like some of our vacation trips, but like we need to break it up and like do other things. And we really haven't done anything other than Disneyland.
And I'll say this. Probably about 90% of our Disneyland trips we've been on since we've been married have all been Casey's idea.
Yes.
Been like, let's go to Disneyland. Let's do this. Let's go.
True, but it's just funny.
And now you actually, like, before, like, when we first started, like, all the planning mostly fell on my part. But now you've kind of taken a hold of, like, the whole planning aspect of the trip. Like, you get more excited than I do. Like, you're like, we're going to Disneyland in 8 months. I gotta start looking at everything. And I've got a list of all the food I want to eat. And all it's like, okay, we got another like 8 months before we even go, right? Like we can cool it down a little bit here. But you definitely get super excited now when it comes to these trips. So.
I do. That's for
And now
sure.
you've got a whole new experience that we're working on. We're planning your first trip to Disney World.
Yes,
Right.
I think everybody in this room has been to Disney World. I have not made
Multiple
it out there.
times for me.
Yeah, well, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
weren't there.
When you work there for 3 years, you've been there.
Yeah, so I'm excited. We're planning on going soon.
So
It's fun. It's when you first go and you go down Main Street, you just see like the castle. You're just like, that's different. You feel like you're in like the dream world. Like you're familiar with it. Like you ever gone to like a mall and you're like, this mall doesn't exist, but I know where all the stores are. That's what going to Magic Kingdom is like at Disney World. Where you're like, that's where the Emporium is, and like the buildings look different, and you're
the
just
buildings are a little taller, and
you're just like you're
yeah.
kind of thrown off. You're like, well, we'll just go over here, and you're like, well, where is it? And it's like, oh, it's not in this park. You're like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, it's a trip.
So and I can't wait to show her around because it'll be a completely new experience for her and different than a Disneyland trip for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, now that we've kind of got an idea of where we land,
We've broken the ice. Let's go into the hard questions.
let's get to some hardcore questions. Let's make each other's spouse feel a little bit more uncomfortable here. We're gonna our spouses are gonna give us, the hosts, characters that we exemplify both on our good days and our bad days. So Tess, why don't you start us off? What are some of the characters you have in mind for us, hosts?
Okay. I had to write notes down because this was a really fun project. I got to watch Disney movies and think about it, and I had to characterize Peter and JP as the same person because you guys are similar, but there are some differences with this character. So
Is this good or bad?
this is good.
We're starting
This is
good.
We're starting
Okay, we're
good.
starting good.
Let's
Okay.
let's leave on a well.
Let's leave it on.
Let's
Let's
start
leave
on a good.
Let's leave the end of the podcast on an angry note. It's like, what do you mean?
That's what she thinks of me.
Just wait till you get home.
I already know her answer, so I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm fine.
Okay, we'll start on a positive. Okay, so I said JP and Peter are both like Roger.
Who's JP?
My husband? You, Jason.
Thank you. All right.
Are both like Roger from 101 Dalmatians because.
Roger. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen,
All
just hear me
right.
out. Hear me out. You both share his cleverness, okay, duty to family, and you ponder, reflect on your ideas, thoughts about something.
Suck on that pipe.
Yep, sucking on that pipe. Mhm. However, I would say that JP kind of has that silliness that Roger has with being silly with Anita and dancing around and making jokes and things like that.
I do joke once in a while.
You're also stubborn, practical, and if you see something wrong, you have no problem telling that person off. Peter, I don't know, I'm sure you have that, but I don't know. I think you have more of that musical aspect of Roger, like how he plays the piano. He can, make music, hold a tune, and all of that musical aspect of...
People have told me I'm able to hold some sort of tune.
Yes.
Whether or not I believe that or not, that's yet to be revealed to me. But people have told me I can hold a tune, so
Yeah.
Very much so.
I'll take that.
So that's what I have for you. And then Jackie, I said you were like Princess Tiana in The Princess and the Frog because she's hardworking, dedicated, she gets the job done, and
She's
She's
focused.
awesome. Yeah.
She is my favorite princess.
I didn't know.
I gotta dig a little deeper.
Yep.
All right, so those are the positive characters. You're sucking up to Jackie. You're giving her favorite
Yeah,
character.
you gave me my favorite.
I didn't know.
Yeah, favorite princess.
All right, Mark. What are some of the positive characters you would characterize us as?
Well, I didn't really think about Peter or Japheth very much.
You
But-
didn't do your homework.
But this one kind of But I didn't think two characters stuck out in my mind.
Oh, good. I like that. Stick ones. Then you have to back.
But they kind of go together. It's Into the Woods. Into the Woods is Disney, kind of. Yeah.
There was a Disney movie.
So I'm gonna use that. But it's the two princes. And
Agony!
Yeah, and this is the only reason is that I can totally see you two in those parts just hamming it up. Agony!
That is probably my favorite part of that whole movie / play.
It's like literally the only scene I can remember. For Jackie, is Princess Tiana.
Yeah.
But also a little bit of Moana, just following your dreams and stuff. Like with this podcast, this was basically your dream and you followed through on it. And just that's one of the aspects I love about you is just how you stick with things and just you work hard.
I'm crying.
You're crying. I love you.
That was beautiful.
That's jealous.
Thank you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's my love?
You ain't got any.
Well, it's just to butter you up before I tell you who you are when you're done with this bitch.
Yzma. No.
Wrong. No, don't let my
All right, Casey.
Okay. Well, again, I didn't do it for Jackie or JP, so my apologies.
We'll get some impulsive answers here.
Okay. Oh my gosh. But for Peter, I was trying to think of somebody else besides Mickey, but
Oh boy!
yeah, I thought Mickey Mouse for Peter just because Mickey reminds me just being young and youthful, and then also he's always in the center with his friends, and I feel like he tries to be a good friend for everyone that with all his friends stuff. But
And friendly.
yeah, you are very friendly, and you try to make everybody included, and then I just also see I don't know, our relationship, Mickey and Minnie, you're just very sweet, so yeah, I just whenever I watch Mickey, I just see so many similarities to you.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never thought of Peter as Mickey.
I can also see Pluto.
Now, would you say classic Mickey, or are you saying the new Mickey?
Oh.
From the new Mickey shorts, because the characteristics are a little different. I feel so. I'm just curious. Do you see a difference? If not, that's fine. This is me. I want you to go deeper.
I would say probably classic Mickey.
Classic Mickey.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're very much into the history and the deep stuff of it
And
of
then
Disney. So
also you always buy that he collects Walt Disney pins. And
Pins that have Walt Disney
Disney
on
on
them.
them.
Yes.
And you
Very
have
specific.
Very specific.
yes. And then you also have those little statues with Mickey and Walt, and I just can see you with Walt. You know what I mean?
Walt's holding your hand.
Yeah,
That's
Walt,
right.
you're best friends with Walt or something.
He's
so
my
I
bestie.
just can't. Yeah, I can't like not think of anybody else better than Mickey for you.
Oh man, I feel all warm and toasty.
That's good.
All right, let's get an impulsive one for Jaffe here.
Yes, he reminds me of Basil from The Great Mouse Detective. I thought of this because he's very like analytical. He's very smart. You know, he pays. Yeah, of course. Like he pays attention to detail. But I would say like the way his like whole aura is, I would say is like Basil. You know, like he's fun and he's caring and stuff.
He has a heart.
Yes, like. But I would say, like,
Congratulations! You have a heart.
Somebody finally recognizes it in his family.
no, but I also,
That Japheth has a heart.
I do see Japheth as somebody who would try to protect his family and also try to help others that he does care about. And I see that with Basil, like he's, you know, fighting to the end to try to like do what is right, and I see that in Japheth.
Well, that was really nice. I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm really enjoying this episode.
Well,
Let's bring you down.
All right, let's
chop.
Do you remember what? Let's get one for Jackie here.
So I did narrow it down to 2, and it's funny because I think I did say Princess Tiana, but I was
You
like,
retracted.
yeah, but that was one of them. But I also,
It's a top.
I think I also said like, was it Doc McStuffins, like the little girl? Just because
I think I remember you saying that.
Is this a Disney Junior character?
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a Disney
I
Junior
don't
teacher.
know her, so
She's all about like helping her friends and like making them feel better and like she's like you can tell she's just like very smart and stuff. But yeah, like she's very I don't know, she's just really cute, like
Very friendly.
very friendly. I'm trying to
wanting to help.
yeah, like I would say it's kind
No
of like
leading
a
the
mesh.
witness.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I would say like they're kind of like a mesh because like Tiana, like she's more serious to me, I guess. You know, like
She's got
and you're
focus.
yeah.
yeah, like you're more sillier like than she is, if
More
that makes sense.
playful.
Like more, yeah, like
Yeah.
and that's where I feel like they're kind of like a mesh where she kind of brings the childish side of that character,
Okay.
and so it was kind of like both.
I
That
like
they're
it.
both, yeah, that way.
All right, now that we got all the warm fuzzies out of the way, let's bring us down and show us how. With some of the evil characters you think of.
Let me get the armor on, protect my heart. Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, defensiveness will come out.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Tess, start us off.
Okay, I'm going to start with my husband, Japheth.
Thank you.
Okay. I would say that you are like Mr. Darling from Peter Pan when you are at your worst. Very quick to anger when things aren't going your way. You can be dramatic when you're angry.
Poor Nana! But poor father? No! That's my favorite line in that movie.
It's great. It's great. And although your yelling has become less and less, you do have those moments still. And I imagine you being firm with our daughter Hera, like the way he is with his own children. So that's who I said you are.
I accept.
And then Jackie, I kind of tied it with me because I think we have something similar. Like, I'm a person with anxiety, and so I feel like I'm Joy from Inside Out. When things don't go her way, she freaks out and she tries to fix it, and when it doesn't happen, she's like, "What the heck?" Even though ultimately it's just best to kind of accept it, and it might be for the better.
That was
So-
really
That's interesting. You gave her not only her favorite character, but which character are you on your worst day? Joy.
It was the negative aspect of joy, you know, like, oh, why are you feeling it? Joy.
I do have to agree with it, though. So.
Yeah, when she brought it up to me the other day, I was like, really? Joy? Elaborate? And she like went into it. I was like, okay, I can see this. I'll go with this.
It's called girl power.
Oh, okay.
Girl power. All right.
Okay, Peter, don't get mad. Okay?
Oh, man, we're getting. Here comes the hate train.
I can't even remember. I'm ready.
No, I got stuck again because I was like, dang it, you kind of like Mr. Darling, but like not really. So I was like, I can't tie them. So I was watching The Rescuers Down Under and
Joanna!
yes, the
Exactly.
picture. I just had to just he has this emotional outburst that you have like. Stop eating my eggs like the dogs, you know.
I give you snake eggs. I
Yeah.
give you eagle eggs. These are my eggs.
That's fair. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
That's me.
There's always that
really
name
good.
being spoken really loudly before Peter like gives a command in the house.
I'll take that. That's fair. I just love it. So
Wow.
true. That's true. I'll take that.
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Yes, it's
I
your
did.
turn.
I did think of one for Japheth and Peter as we were talking. So, Japheth, the only reason I chose this one is because you dressed as him for Halloween, but grumpy.
Of course.
Yeah, you pulled it off really well. But the thing is I haven't seen you grumpy or mad. I've only heard stories from
My past haunts
Jackie
me.
and whatnot. So it's just like I know that you could have that side to you.
It's
So
there.
yeah,
It's always there.
yeah. But nowadays you're mostly chill. At least from what I've seen.
You haven't lived with him yet.
It's a whole different world right there.
Yeah.
Live and say a whole new world.
Yeah. For Peter, I thought of Syndrome from The Incredibles. And the only reason I thought of that is because Syndrome is like such a fad boy of Mr. Incredible.
And I'm a grudge holder. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a big grudge holder.
Well, no, it's just like I just thought of this as like sometimes you do take your fandom really, really far. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing.
You take it far.
You take it too far.
I will lock you up, Walt Disney, and you'll appreciate.
You'll be my Disney. Only I get to talk to you. Anyway,
That was the cut that you didn't see in Peter's day with Walt, where he locked him up and he locked him up and be like,
You will enjoy these moments with me.
enjoy it. For Jackie, I hope you take this well because I love you. I thought of Alice from Alice in Wonderland, but more specifically when she's crying and when you get upset, whether you're angry or sad or in your range of those emotions, you cry.
It's true.
and you have to take mushrooms to get high.
No, but yeah, that's the only reason why I chose Alice is because one of the main scenes I can think of in Alice in Wonderland is how she's crying. So, I love you.
I agree with you.
Okay.
When I have
Well, I
high
mean, at least you
emotions, I cry.
didn't call her a person that holds on to grudges. I'm just saying. Okay, well, this was enlightening. Please enlighten us some more, dear. I'm excited to hear this one.
Alright. Well, with Peter, I felt like he was, from Inside Out, the anger character.
Man, I've got some temper issues, apparently.
Well, I mean, so your worst day.
Yes, my worst days.
So,
yes.
yeah, just to clarify, like, not abusive or anything like that. Like, I feel like I have to throw it out
Not
there.
a great start to a sentence.
No, it's not, but
No,
I'll take a clarification now and have people listen going like, what's he like at home? He's a monster.
He's loud. Like, he did choir, so he knows how to project his voice. And so it's like it doesn't really bother me because I'm just like, whatever, he's just loud, like, you know what I mean, like, because it's nothing mean, it's just very, very loud. And so if anything, it's just startling, I guess, sometimes. But other than that, it's like, that's you on your worst day where, you know, I see like anger where he like is holding the controls. He's like, oh yeah, no dessert, I'll see you after you take this. The like hair comes out, you know, like, you know, I see that part of him.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that does happen quite a bit, especially with our kid. It's like, oh yeah, you want to say no to me? How about now?
Yeah, because I mean, as people know, like, kids know how to get under your skin, and
They can push
they
those buttons.
push your buttons, you know. And I think because Peter is very vocal, they do it more to him because they get the reaction they want out of him.
Ooh.
You know.
Therapy.
No, but I'm just saying.
How does that make you feel?
No, but I mean, it's true. Like.
Stir it and twist.
You know, honestly, like, I feel like when I see Jackie and Japheth, I really don't see them on their worst days, because like it's always like family time and everybody's kind of like happy.
I put up a good face.
You do.
Yeah.
You do put up a good face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at that face.
That's why I grew a beard.
Yeah.
I gotta hide it.
See that face.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say for Jackie, this might sound a little weird that I would say like on her worst day would be probably like Mary Poppins, which is her favorite character.
Whoa! Using her favorite
Shots
character
fired.
against her?
Yes.
Hey.
I don't know how to feel about this.
I know. I mean, I like Mary Poppins. Don't get me wrong. But I would say there is that element where she's
Practically perfect in every way.
well, yeah. I would say like
There's a rigidity to her.
yeah, like there's something
Right.
like she's very particular and wants things her way. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and so I would say, yeah,
There's pure acknowledgement coming in over here.
yeah, and it's not like necessarily a bad thing, but I know Jackie is very particular about certain things, you know, and so
This
like
is true. This is true.
so
She'll make
like
you take your medicine.
yeah,
Lie to you thinking it's sugar.
Well, Mark, do I make you take your medicine?
She actually does make me take my medicine. And yes, Jackie, I did take my medicine.
yeah. That's not really that bad of a compliment on your worst day.
Jackie's getting off
you're
really
fine.
easy. Your worst characters are Joy and
Mary Poppins.
I know.
I love this. This is great.
Yeah, I would say that's it. So Japheth, I would say he is, I guess Donald Duck. But I see like mostly like the good side of Japheth with Donald Duck. Just because, you know, there are some really good elements of Donald Duck. Like he's very fun and
Just
like
tell me the bad stuff.
what? No, I
This
don't.
is the bad
Don't
part.
squirt. Don't
This
skirt
is-
around the issue. Tell me why I'm Donald Duck.
Why are you Donald Duck? I will say if there is something wrong, you're going to tell people how it is, and you're going to stand up for what you think is wrong.
You're right.
Okay, well, this was very enlightening to see how our the new people, part of our family, really feel about us as people. But I think it was actually fun. I enjoyed this a lot.
This was a lot of fun.
Before we end things off, does anybody have any maybe fun or embarrassing stories about your significant partner related to Disney that you would like to share? Unless you've
I
got
mean, the
something.
only thing I could think of is just like when I first started dating Jackie, she told me that it's just like, oh, are you a Disney fan? And I was like, well, kind of. I was like, well, I'm a really big Disney fan. And I had no idea.
You had no idea how deep that pool was.
I had no idea how deep that rabbit hole went. So, I guess that the most embarrassing thing about Jackie is just like how much of Disney there is. It's just like I would probably be more embarrassed before I met her, but now that I've embraced Disney more, it's just like it's not really that much of an embarrassing thing. But it's just like if you come to our house, there's Disney stuff all over the place, and but at the same time, it's nowhere near as much as her dad's place.
The mother and father Yodeler.
Yeah. Like, everything is Disney, and it's like every time you go there, there's something new. It's like going to Disneyland, you're noticing little Easter eggs everywhere.
It could be a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could.
It could be,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Not that that's really like an embarrassing thing, it's just like, just to give you an idea of how much of fans and where they're coming from.
It doesn't have to be embarrassing. It'd just be
Yeah.
more fun if it was.
Yeah.
All right, Casey, do you have one?
Sort of.
Kind of indicated that you had something to say, so let's
Well,
hear
yeah, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing, but it's like a fun, little, tiny Disney story. I just remember, like, when we were dating, it's sort of Disney, I guess, like, we were talking about our interests, and we were talking about how, like, I played this video game called Kingdom Hearts, and, like, when we were talking about
it was
that...
a done deal.
Yeah. He was like, what? You're a girl that, like, plays Kingdom Hearts? Like, oh
Well,
my
that
gosh.
actually knew what Kingdom Hearts
I
was.
was about to say,
Yeah.
that's pretty deep right there.
Yeah.
Like, at first it was like, oh yeah, I like playing Zelda, and then she drops the Kingdom Hearts bomb, and I was all like,
I'm yours!
this is it.
Don't screw this up.
It's like Kingdom Hearts is literally just like a kid playing with like Disney properties and stuff.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah, I would agree that like that was definitely a key moment in our courting time period when that news came out that she was a gamer, not only a video gamer, but she liked the same video games as I did, and so I was like, yep, that's it for sure. So.
I like how you use key moment there.
There is a story that kind of makes me chuckle every time I hear, and it deals with Casey and Peter.
Oh, okay.
And it's the one time that basically you're in love with Casey, and Casey or Peter starts singing. And
I didn't know you knew this story.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course,
Yes,
Tess, that's right.
she's a snitch. She tells me everything. We're like little two schoolgirls at night, just chit chat. Like, what did you think of this?
It's true.
Yeah.
And he sings.
He sings,
And this is love.
and you were singing that around Casey.
Yes.
Yes, it was the first time he told me he loved me. He was singing that song to me.
We were watching Avatar. Right?
I think so.
We were watching Avatar, the Blue People Avatar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, not the last Airbender, but the Blue People Avatar.
So that's still kind of related to Disney.
Now it is.
Now it
yes.
is, yeah.
Then it wasn't. But and yeah, for some reason we just started dancing, and I just started singing.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the song that came out.
Yeah, that was the song that came out, and yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cute.
And so like that's
That
a
wasn't like-
embarrassing, cute Disney story, and
Mhm.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like he was fully saying, like, I love you, but, like, it was,
it
It was,
this
you know,
is love.
settled.
Like, it was settled.
Disney
Yeah.
way.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Well, I had a lot of fun here. How would you say it went, Jackie?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate all three of you coming out to join our podcast.
I know it's very difficult to do that because there are kids involved, and finding someone to watch our kids to get this done. So yes,
Logistically, it's very hard.
So we do appreciate all three of you here joining us, and we'll probably have you all three back again sometime in the future.
Maybe Valentine's Day.
Valentine's episode.
Or what is this? This is love.
So, yeah. So, again, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please feel free to follow us on our Facebook and Instagram. We also have a YouTube page where you can not necessarily watch, but you can still listen to the podcast there as well. You can email us at matterhornyodelers@gmail.com.
So if you have an idea that you want us to do for a podcast, we'll take it.
Yep.
And if you're a Disney super fan, leave a comment of how your spouse or, family or friends handle your super Disney-ness.
Damn, what character are they?
Yeah.
Well, auf Wiedersehen. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.